What's up, everybody? Welcome back to GameSpot Cross. Kind of funny. No, we're not throwing to the YouTube stage. Chloe, they're playing Smash Brothers for YouTube. Everyone stay here on GameSpot.com/E3. Never go to YouTube again, except when this ends. Then go to YouTube.com/kindafunny. All right, great. I'm Greg. This is Alexa from GameSpot. There's the crossover we talk about all the time.
Yep.
And then we're here to talk about Life is Strange. So the developer, Michel's here to talk to us. And then, of course, Ashley, playing Chloe in the game.
Hello.
Hello. Now,
Hey.
I like Life is Strange. I enjoy this game. I get excited for this game. Alexa is on another level of love
I am
for this.
a
She's
little
writing
obsessed.
fan fiction about this game and stuff.
Are you actually? No. But I could.
You're sure.
Spin us a tale right now. Give us the backstory of a character.
So Victoria is actually angry and sad because she's actually part cyborg
Whoa!
from the future and knows how the story ends and the apocalypse happens, and she's gone back in time to try and stop it, but she's just mean to everybody because she can't express what's going to happen.
Cyborgs don't know human emotions.
So she's a
Yeah,
cyborg
yeah,
from
of
the
course.
future,
Of course.
come back to save the
So
world.
Victoria is the Terminator.
She's the Terminator. Okay, Victoria's the Terminator.
Real original story, right?
That's a good story.
You can have that one for free.
We can do that for season 2.
Yes.
So now here's what we need to come to grips with right away. How spoiler do we want to get? You were talking and we were talking. I'm down to just spoil it. If you're here right now, here's what you need to know. Life is Strange is awesome. Go buy the season pass. Play the games. This will be on demand later. I don't mind you going out to check out what's happening on YouTube. So I say we spoil everything. Gloves are off.
I don't know.
Are
I'm
you
not
comfortable
sure.
with that?
Oh, like you feel. I don't know. We shouldn't maybe spoil too much.
God damn it.
Shouldn't spoil. No.
Fine. Everybody stay here. Don't go anywhere.
We'll leave out some key
Yeah,
points.
we should.
So I guess then I'll kick it off with, I mean, Michel, did you expect this to resonate the way it has?
To be honest, no, we didn't. When we started making the game, we were really we wanted to make the game we wanted to play. We wanted to. We didn't add any pressure when we started because we didn't add a publisher yet. So we just thought, okay, let's make the game we want to make, we want to play, and let's forget about target audience, forget about marketing. So we just worked on the game we wanted to create. We created the character we wanted to tell the story about, and we were really lucky to find Square Enix, who just loved the game we showed to them, and they said, okay, let's go, let's do this game. And after release of episode 1, when we saw so many good reactions from the players on Twitter, on the social networks, so many fan art, so many cosplays, we were really amazed because we didn't accept this kind of big resonance and big success with the community. So we're really, really happy. And since it's really hard to work on an episodic game, it's really helping the teams to work hard on the next episode by looking at all the great Let's Play videos and stuff like this. It's really helping us.
Now, is that a double-edged sword? Because, of course, as it's episodic, you get to see people like, I love this, and I'm connecting with the characters, and I want to do more. But then you also get the chance to second-guess every decision you make, right?
Yes, we can do that, and we did it a little bit. The story was fully written since the beginning. We know where we're going. We know what
This train doesn't stop for anybody.
Yeah, we know what will be the different endings. We know what the major scenes, but we still have the leisure to take into account some of the player feedbacks. And for example, we've seen that some characters were loved even more than we thought they would be, and we decided to just sometimes to add a bit more dialogue with them, to just tweak a bit of the scenes to reflect what we read from the player. So that's one of the perks of doing episodic. Even if it's only a small development time, we still have time to just adjust a bit based on the player feedbacks. And we really love to read the player feedbacks.
How long had you guys had the idea for this game? Because it's a high school drama mixed with all this sci-fi and craziness.
Yeah, I think it started after we finished our previous game, Remember Me. And in Remember Me, it was a fast-paced action-adventure game, but we had those sequences, the memory remix, where you could just go inside the people's memory and try some different interaction to provoke a cause and consequence effect. And we thought we loved this idea, and we thought we should make a full game with a very slow pacing, an adventure game, using this kind of mechanism and really focusing on the choice and consequence aspect of this. And that was the beginning of the process. So we started to try to find what would be the best gameplay, and that's how we created the rewind power. And then we worked on the story, the characters, the setting, to be sure that everything would be resonating with that and working really to be really cohesive with the power. So that's why we have this art direction, that's why we have those characters, that's why we choose the setting of an high school, and because when you're a teen, it's one of the time of your life when your decisions will really affect you as an adult. So
Right, who
it's a
you're
really
gonna
good
become,
period to question fate, choice and consequences, and destiny. So yeah.
All right. Final question, then I'm going to let Alexa go. Just let her go. How did you get involved with the project, Ashley? Was it they come to you? Did you hear about it? How did it all happen?
I actually just got an audition through my agency, and I auditioned originally for Chloe and for Max, and which I don't know if you knew that actually, maybe.
I think yes, we have a lot of voice actors who auditions for several characters.
Yeah. So I remember even when I got the sides, really connecting and liking Chloe a lot.
Oh, cool.
And then I think you guys knew about Hey Ash. Some of you did, I believe, right?
Actually, what's funny is that when we received all the the castings, we didn't have the name of the actress. So we were listening, and when we heard your take, everyone in the office. So okay, this is Chloe, for sure.
Oh wow!
And it's only after that we recognize your name, and so that's
Then
Hey
they're like,
Ash.
oh, she's famous.
So
Crap.
yeah, so we didn't know you
so
were
much harder.
famous, and we didn't know who you were when we decided that you were the perfect voice for Chloe.
Aw, well, shucks.
All right, now Alexa, get nerdy.
Oh my God. Okay. So my big thing with Life is Strange is I was Max. I was the loner. I was the weirdo. Kids made fun of me. I was never invited to parties. Girls spit in my hair on the bus. You know.
What? Really?
I was like the kid that got picked on and was like alienated. So something. Oh, thank you.
You're safe
But
now.
look where I'm now. I've made it. So I really identify with the story of these like young teenage girls. So I guess my question is why did you decide to write a story about adolescent girls?
I think really it started with what I said before, with the fact that we really wanted to talk about choice and consequences and using this rewind power, which is really a nostalgic power. And I think the high school years are nostalgic for maybe all of us. So we really thought that it was a good time of a period of life to talk about those themes, those choice and consequences. And it hasn't been done that much in video games. You have Buddy from Rockstars, you have Obscure from a French company. There is not many games about adolescents, about teenagers. And it's really hard to be a teenager. It's a really violent world, it's brutal. And we really thought that using these themes could allow us to talk about much more than just teen drama. So that's why we are, and that's something that's really important for us in Life is Strange, is to talk about important, serious themes. So we are talking about social media bullying, about domestic violence, about teen pregnancy, and there is a lot of themes and secondary themes we can develop in a story like this.
It's every horrible thing about teenage years shoved into one thing. Like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, every horrible thing about being a teenager, plus the impending end of the world, trying to like fix things. When during conception of the story did you start to add that fantasy element? Like where did that come from?
We had it for the beginning with the rewind, because of course having the ability to rewind time is a supernatural power.
Yes, no one has that power.
Who knows? But for us, really, the sci-fi aspect is not the important part of Life is Strange. Life is Strange is really a story about characters, about intimacy, about human emotions, and this sci-fi element, these supernatural elements, this is just a layer that's added on top of it to bring some chaos and to add a layer of excitement over the story. It's a bit like, Stephen King is doing that in his books.
Yeah.
It's really books he's writing stories about people, about human emotions. And in each of these books, the supernatural elements are just here to steer things up. And we are almost with the same formula. But it's really the character that's important. Yeah.
Well, as a fan of fantasy sci-fi stuff, I love it. And then playing as basically me just makes me love it even more. Now, my favorite character is Chloe, and I'm not just saying that because you're sitting here. But you sound like when I play the game, you sound like you're having a lot of fun playing her. So could you just, how do you find Chloe when you go in for a VO session? How do you feel about her?
I love Chloe. I kind of, as an adult woman, I kind of want to just give her a cup of tea and make sure she's okay.
It's gonna be okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry, Chloe. I'm here for you, man. I just feel but yeah, I mean, everyone I think has, like you said, I think the characters of Max and Chloe are very universal. I'm sure a lot of girls and men too, I think, have the experience of being like Max or feeling like Chloe, and so there is this element of Chloe that feels very rejected and alienated and abandoned. And there are definitely parts of me that resonate very much with that. And so being Chloe is just sort of like an id part of my brain coming online. It's just, it's like
That's cool.
it's the little kid that's like, afraid that they're going to be left alone, and that's
Let's
kind
have
of,
fun.
that's just kind of who Chloe is. And being a teenage girl, it comes out a lot in like aggression and angst, but it's this core thing of like she, can I say that about her dad? I mean, it's obvious from the first episode. Yeah. She lost her dad, so that's the ultimate
Of course.
abandonment. So, so she just has that kind of core to her, and I think, just like you said, with Max, Chloe, I think, is a very resonant character because she has that sort of emotional core to her that's very human. Yeah.
Without spoiling anything for people watching,
I already told you, play the game. How much? You just get it. It's a season pass. It's really good.
Yeah, you should.
I didn't know what happens because I didn't work on the game, so I had a couple of really horrible gut punch moments that just left me on the floor in the fetal position for a while. But you obviously know what happens. So when you play as when you're playing, like, do you ever like think like, oh, I know what's happening? Like, does that affect like how you play yourself? I don't know. I completely like botched that question.
No. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like when I go to actually play the game, what is the experience?
I'm not
going to
say this because that'll make that happen.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know the different routes that everything could take. But I kind of play it just as a normal player, and even though I know it's sort of like a movie that I've seen before but still enjoy. So, and I will remember, it's also an interesting thing because obviously like I'm also listening to my performance and critiquing it because that's what you do when you act and then you hear it back. But then also, I kind of just have Vietnam flashbacks to being in the booth, not Vietnam flashbacks, but like I just think about
Booth flashbacks.
Booth flashbacks. So, because it's a very emotional character, and I love every VO session I love going into, but it's also actually kind of emotionally taxing.
Yeah, I'm sure it should
but
be.
it's but in a really good way. Like it feels very real and very visceral, and so going back and playing it is sort of, I can't help but sort of also go back to those moments because I'm hearing myself do it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still enjoy it just as a player because it's a beautifully constructed game, and there are also parts of the game that I like a lot of the stuff with Victoria or Kate, like stuff that I didn't record with, I'm experiencing for the first time.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so, yeah.
So there's one decision. I'm going to spoil it a little bit. There's one decision in the game that, for me, I think is one of the big polarizing decisions that I've talked to other people when I've talked to other people about the game. You're in the diner and you have the choice between a bacon omelet and a waffle.
That's really important.
and I played that for the first time. I think you were there at PAX East, and it was 4 of us, and it came up, and half of us shouted bacon and half of us shouted waffle, and we got in a fight, and it was very polarizing. What did you do?
Did waffle.
Okay, I did the waffle as well.
I went
Waffles.
bacon. Come on now.
Waffles, though.
They're all right, but I don't like sweet stuff that much. I'd rather have
I
the
love
savory.
sweet stuff.
There you go.
Waffles
So
are
much.
superior, I think.
Yeah.
You
Chat,
know,
let us know. I want to see over on the side what's happening in bacon or waffle.
but our producer is vegetarian, so it was important for us to allow Max to order vegetarian food if she wants.
Now, are you guys Twin Peaks fans? Because there's a lot of like Twin Peaks
Yes,
references.
of course. We are major Twin Peaks fans. Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about the reboot coming? Or the reboot? No, it's not a reboot. Please
The
don't listen to me.
continuation.
Oh my
No,
God.
no,
Continuation.
of the
Yes,
Twin
continuation.
Peaks
So,
saga.
no, I'm really excited about it, and knowing that David Lynch is directing all the episodes now, that's really cool. So we'll see, but I have high hopes for that.
What about you?
Twin Peaks is on my list. Right now,
Oh.
I know.
Really?
Sorry, we're not
Ashley,
we're
I'm
not
sorry.
all as old as you two,
I'm
all right?
sorry.
Jeez.
I'm working my way through his movies though, so I just watched Mulholland Drive for the first time recently,
Nice.
which is
Cool.
incredible.
You should watch it.
I know, I really want to. I'm working my way through Buffy right now, so it's Buffy.
I
and
just
then-
did that
Buffy
last year.
is my second best favorite TV show ever. So
So it's
yeah.
Twin Peaks and then Buffy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm doing them in reverse order. Then. Okay, yeah,
You can actually skip, I think, like the latter half of Twin Peaks season
Yeah.
2.
that's what I've heard.
You can just throw it out, and then the movie is just like,
Yeah.
It's craziness.
it's super crazy.
Yeah.
So what kind of, this is for both of you, what kind of feedback have you gotten, or what have you seen from the game now that it's out there? Like, what do you see people talking about, and what are you hoping they're talking about more?
Oh.
Would you like to start?
It's been awesome. People are talking about the game every time. We've been quite addicted on the team on Twitter. So even after work, we are going on Twitter
But isn't that terrible?
or Reddit or everything.
I
to
mean, I know
read,
you're
but
doing
the
really well
fans
and
are-
people love it, but geez, just watching Twitter all the time.
No,
seeing your
yeah,
babies.
I know.
Twitter
I know.
sucks. Seeing
And-
your baby deconstructed.
Yeah. I think of babies
Oh,
as
no.
robots. We're back to Terminators.
And no, it's really awesome, and people are talking about everything. They're loving the characters. We've seen more than thousands of fan arts. There is really fan arts everywhere, and people are drawing Max and Chloe and the other characters, so that's really awesome. And we've seen theories about Rachel, about the characters, a lot of talk also about who Max will eventually date and stuff like this, and it's really cool to see that the guys are so much in really relating to those characters. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, and I always have people on my Twitter feed when they find out that I'm Chloe or just knowing that I'm Chloe, they're like, they really like her, which I really appreciate. But yeah, I also love just how wide of an appeal it has, and I think this E3 is a great testament to that there are a lot more female protagonists that we're seeing, and which is so heartening for me, and it's really encouraging. We were just talking about Hip Hop Gamer, if you guys know him.
Yeah,
is obsessed.
He's awesome.
He's obsessed with the game, and he plays it with his son, and it's just it's awesome to see that it has such a wide appeal, and you know, women can be related to. If you're not a woman, it's a possible thing.
Well, that's when games are at their best, right?
Yeah.
When they put you in someone else's shoes, and I think as we've seen the rise of the new adventure game or the choice game, right, where you can do that, that's the easiest way. Whether it's Gone Home, whether it's Clementine, whether it's whatever, you get to be in these shoes and be like, oh, right. It's more than just bros and guns. Things can happen in here. We can do this as an art form.
Yeah.
You mentioned fan art, and I was just reminded of something. And if you go on YouTube and type in "wrestling is strange,"
I saw that video.
I
saw that
somebody
video.
made a mod for I think it's like one of the WWE wrestling games.
That's awesome.
And they changed the wrestlers into Max and Chloe and I think like Victoria or something.
Maybe.
And
just wrestling, and it's insane.
It's crazy. And Chloe and Victoria are fighting, and then Max runs out and rewinds and jumps in the ring, and like they hit each other with chairs, and they play like the opening to the game, and it's really strange.
That's so funny.
I've seen also a video which was called Kate's Revenge, and you have Kate who just comes up to Nathan and literally kicks Nathan's ass with kicks and karate moves.
What kind of, sort of going on that vein, what kind of stuff have you seen fans make besides wrestling mods?
I've seen mods for GTA where you could have a car with his written Life is Strange on it and skins of Max and Chloe in GTA. We've seen the pixel art, we've seen the Blackwell Academy recreated in Minecraft. We've seen a lot of stuff. That's crazy. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of fan art. Yeah. People love to ship Max and Chloe too, so there's a lot of that fan art. Yeah.
That was my next question.
That's going to be the best ending.
Oh boy. So there's a lot of potential there. Like as someone I'm reviewing the game, so I play the episodes multiple times, but there's a lot of potential there for them to maybe be a little bit more than friends. Now I had a close girlfriend when I was younger, and like girls are like, we will, strip off to our underwear and jump in a pool. Like we don't care. Like women are very comfortable with each other. But there's a lot of there might be something more there. Like, can you talk about that at all?
For and foremost, this is really a friendship, a really strong friendship story. And after that, we won't spoil everything, but it's still up to the player because there is a lot of choices in the game and a lot of dialogue choices and minor and major choices you can make. And there is up to the player to really play his version of Max and see how he wants Max to evolve. Okay. But really, what we really wanted to talk about is about friendship, about loneliness, isolation, and really the friendship of Max and Chloe, which is really strong when they are almost disconnected with everyone else. So that was what's really important for us.
Yeah. You gotta finish it. You really gotta finish it.
I'm going to finish it.
You have to leave now. Get off the stage and go play.
I've already bought the season pass, buddy. All right? Don't worry about it. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to play the whole game.
It's so good. It's so good. I want to talk theories.
Just do it. Just do it. You're here at E3. I'm totally locked in. I'm not worried.
So I have a theory that Rachel has the same power as Max and screwed everything up, and what's happening is because of her. Yeah. That's my theory.
We've seen a lot of theories on the internet.
I just want the game. Can I have
and a rule we have is to never answer to any theories, because of course answering to one theory would maybe say this is wrong or this is right, and we won't spoil. So we'll let you continue thinking about your theory.
Will you tell me
and you'll have to
see. Can't. Sorry.
But thanks for having theories. It's really cool. We love when players are theorizing about the game.
I play with my boyfriend, and we always for hours afterwards is theories and our crackpot Life is Strange theories. So the episode 3 just came out. Do you know when we can expect episode 4?
So we don't have a film release date now. We're finishing the episode, and it should be the same window of 8 weeks between each episode. But we should say when it's done, but it shouldn't be too long.
Will we get the rest of the episodes this year? Like, do you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We're still aiming to keep this 8-week window between each episode, so you can make
Nice.
the approximative count with that.
Good. You got to hurry up.
Oh my God, Alexa.
I want to talk to
It's
Greg.
been busy, all right? You think all this materialized? You think these guests just come? Hey, somebody's got to be out there again. It's me, Greg Miller, CEO of KindaFunny.com, making this happen. Everyone's livelihood on me. Now, talking about pressure, you said, of course, the game's been written. You know where you're going.
Yeah.
As you've gone through and you're making the game episode to episode, are you running into any weird, like, you know, it's one thing to have the whole story, the outline, but then you get there and when you start manipulating time in a game, I feel like that's when there's all the paradoxes that can come. And you in episode 3, and you're like, well, then this happens. And they're like, well, no, like, because in episode 2, is this a problem? It seems like you'd have strings all over your
Yeah.
office.
Yes, we have. Yes, it's really a lot of a massive headache when you're working with time travel, and even more in a game with choice and consequences, because we have around 4 to 5 major choices in each episode and 10 to 15 minor choices. And we are keeping all those into account. So the game is recording everything, and in each episode we are really using everything we have to change some major or minor stuff in the game. Can be a new text message you receive, a new headline on a newspaper, emails Max will receive, change of dialogues, a new character, change in the environment, and bigger stuff like maybe a character dying or not and stuff like that. So if you add to this the rewind ability, it's really complicated. We have Excel files that are more like 60 pages just of all the choices, and we need to be sure that we are checking everything. But we managed to do it for now, so we are still struggling to finish it, but we're on the right track.
You're doing a great job. I feel like that would be the thing that would drive me crazy, is running into some time paradox and be like, God dang it. So then now, Ashley, are you totally wrapped? Like all your stuff's done?
We just finished recording episode 4, but
Okay.
I haven't started episode 5
So
yet.
you don't even know all the endings.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh.
sure what happens in episode 5. Yeah. Secrets.
I won't say anything.
So now we talk, about strong female characters starting to be a thing. The fact that we have these games that, Square is able to get behind and be like that. Why do you think we're starting to hit that stride, right? I feel like we've been talking about it forever, but this is the E3, right, where it's even Horizon's main character seems to be female and all this stuff's happening.
Yeah.
Why are we hitting the stride right now? And it's for both.
I would say it's about time we are. I don't know. I just think the way we are creating character, I don't know. We never started Life is Strange saying we want a female character.
Sure.
We just had the rewind. We were starting to search for the best story and the best characters, and we had a male character which we was drafted out at a point. And when we were working on Max, we really thought that she was the perfect character for this story, and that's the way we really like to think about characters, just making good characters, and it can be a male or a female characters. I really don't like to put any pressure on we should do these 30 male characters, or we should have a female character here. Just work on the characters that's the best for what you want to talk about for your project, and I think it would be a good character if you're doing this way.
It's a good answer.
That is a good answer. I hope that the industry was sort of trending this way anyway, but then with the controversy that came, last year primarily, I think it kind of expedited the process almost.
Right.
It was sort of like, weirdly, even though it was such a horrible thing, it sort of jump-started that, like with female characters being more incorporated into games. And this sort of random, I did, which Michel came to, which is very sweet of him. I did a GDC talk last year,
it
or
was
this
really
year,
nice.
I'm sorry, about with an educator, and we surveyed a bunch of kids and how they play games, what kind of games they play, and we found that boys don't really care what protagonist they play as, and girls have more of a preference to play as women.
Oh,
So it actually kind of makes more sense to put female characters
Right.
in your game, because guys will play it either way. I mean, all kids will kind of play games no matter what, but girls have a larger preference to play as girls. So it's one of those things where
Wow.
you can see also with Life is Strange that it doesn't really matter the gender. People can relate to good characters.
Yeah.
Awesome. Life is Strange is awesome. It's out right now, the first few episodes, all 3 of them. Go get them. I'll play episode 3 so Alexa will stop
you
yelling at
should.
me. You go finish episode 4. You get ready to record episode 5. You go buy Life is Strange. That's it. Have a great E3, everybody. Stay
you.
here for more
Thank you
GameSpot
so
Cross
much.
Kind of Funny.